They started in the usual Tory way from a position so far elevated from our own that they can't see the impact clearly. But neither do they want to, because they are not in this with us.
PCS's view is that there needs to be not one job lost, not one cut made.
The 490,000 public service jobs which they propose to cut are people who deliver essential public services which we all use. They are people teaching our children at school, looking after perhaps our aged parents who need care. They are the school crossing patrol people who help children get to school safely. They are the people who actually ensure taxes are collected from those with smart accountants who otherwise will get away without paying our taxes. So I stand by colleagues in Unison, in PCS, Unite, GMB and other unions involved, and also the public service users. We've got to fight these cuts. We need to campaign forward as we go through the months to follow, and I'll be with you all the way. Thank you.
The government wants to take care of our pensions. What a bloody joke. What it really means is, they say they're going to take away the 10 billion deficit from our pension scheme. All it really means is that if they get rid of that 10 billion deficit, that would be easy to sell Royal Mail for a start. And what they really want to do is get their hands on our bloody 28 billion assets that we've got in our pension scheme. And we as a union are not going to let them do it.
Yes.
It's time for trade unions to come out, stick together, stand shoulder to shoulder, and it's about bloody time we took action together. And I think that's time we did it now. Thanks very much for listening to it.
Thanks, Millie.
But it's great unions have been providing some support to get this going, and I think it's up to us and thousands of ordinary people across Norfolk to now get on this bandwagon and make sure it rolls.
I think the real reason I'm up here, outside of just shouting a bit, which I do enjoy, is to mention that the next activity is going to be a meeting. The 1st of November, it'll be at City Hall. We have a big trade unionist from the United States telling us how it's done over there, and we're going to tell them how we do it over here, okay? Show up in the evening. We'd love to have you, because I think that one of the most important things is solidarity, not just solidarity in this town, because we've got that and we're showing it and we're growing it by the day, but solidarity across the oceans, solidarity in France, solidarity in Europe. The working class needs to stand up and be counted. Go for it!
Hello everyone, my name's Ed Bober. I'm a Unison shop steward, work at County Hall, work with people who back up the education system. I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. You can be proud, you're playing a part in history. This is only the beginning. Let's remind David Cameron that it was small gatherings like this that turned into millions and millions and eventually overthrew the poll tax. We can do the same.
Yes.
I've been out, like many of the campaign against the cuts, on the streets of Norfolk campaigning, and 90% of the people who pass by and comment offer support and enthusiasm for the work we're doing to defeat these cuts. There are a few people who mention doubts and reservations about our campaigns, and I just want to mention 3 of those reservations, because by listening to those who oppose us, we can learn more and understand how to build this movement even stronger. One thing they say is, there's too much bureaucracy, we have to cut some of it. Well, there are ways that public services could be improved, there's no doubt about that. We could be more responsive, and every public servant wants to provide a better service to the communities that we serve. But we won't do that by cutting our staff and cutting our budgets.
Yes!
On the contrary, we will do that by increasing the size of our workforce so that we can listen better and have more resources to meet the needs of the public. The second point people on the streets make to me, if they are expressing reservations, is that there are too many people living on benefits, too many scroungers. First of all, the biggest social security scroungers in this society are the bankers.
Yes! Wave that.
If we want a society where everyone has a job, and of course we do, if we want a culture where nobody who can work is staying at home idle, and of course we want that, we have to have a government that invests in jobs.
Yes!
There was a factory on the Isle of Wight last year where the workers occupied it because they were threatened with redundancy. That's green jobs, that's skilled jobs, that's jobs that can create a better environment and a future for this country. And the government refused to put money into saving that factory. We need a programme of public investment to create jobs so that people aren't at home and unemployed.
Hear, hear.
And the third point that people make when they disagree with us is that the last government got us into too much debt. Well, this is a little history of that. In the end of 2007, several big American banks went bankrupt. Because they'd been gambling with public money, they'd been selling and buying their debts on the international money markets, and several big British banks started going into crisis as well. The government decided they were too big to fail. Every one of the 3 major parties supported a bailout that cost the taxpayer hundreds of billions of pounds. That is the biggest redistribution of wealth ever in economic history.
Absolutely.
And it's that's the wrong way. It's a distribution of wealth from the poor to the rich.
Yes. And now we're going to pay for it.
And after that bailout, all the media and all the politicians started talking about the country's in too much debt. And they discover a way of paying back those debts, not by getting the banks to pay it back, but by getting us to sacrifice our public services.
Shame on them.
So, well done everyone for coming here. Everyone can take away a message from this meeting. We can all be involved. Every community in Norfolk can be part of this campaign. And we want to see you all not just saying this is a good idea, but also campaigning in your neighbourhoods to spread the idea that there is an alternative to the cuts. There is a fair society that we working people can fight for and win.
Said it, well said.